What's going on, guys? So it looks like we're entering a new era of smartphones because the flagship phones have become stagnant lately, but mid-range phones are starting to become a compelling product. Here with me, I have the OnePlus 12R. The Nothing Phone 2a was also announced, and the Pixel 8a is just around the corner. But here is OnePlus, and I've been on the OnePlus 12 for quite some time now, and I'm excited to see what the cheaper option should be because OnePlus is definitely back. But you know who else is back? Our sponsor, Best Buy.
What if you were able to take everything in a Best Buy store, but add it in an app and add features to make your life better? Best Buy doesn't know this, but I'm actually already a Best Buy Plus member. Best Buy has free membership that offers free shipping, online order tracking, and quicker checkout. The Plus option for $49.99 a year, you get an exclusive member-only prices, free 2-day shipping, and an extended 60-day return and exchange window. Then the $179.99 gives you 24/7, 365 tech support from Geek Squad, VIP Priority, Apple Care Plus, and other great features. I shop at Best Buy a lot, so let's take a look at Apple products. So I want to look at a MacBook Pro. Best Buy has a pad next to all of their items. All I do is open the scan tool, bring it up to the pad, and boom. Any online saving or offers are shown to me. Some of the products you see on this channel are bought using the Best Buy app. If you want to experience Best Buy at the palm of your hands, check the link in the description below to learn more. Thanks once again, Best Buy, for sponsoring the video.
All right, we got to give credit where credit is due, and this was made in China. Always got to get the unboxing knife and go ahead and cut this open. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the OnePlus 12R. Never settle, typical fashion when it comes to OnePlus. So unlike the OnePlus 12 where it has this information printed on the box, you actually just get that as a pamphlet instead. So we get our paperwork, quick guide, safety guide, stickers, and then your membership card because you are a part of the Red Cable Club. Then we have the device itself. You know what this smells like? Alcohol. So looking at the power adapter that comes in the box, this does cap out at 100-watt charging. Do keep in mind, OnePlus does not joke around when it comes to their charging speeds, and then it also comes with the red cable as well. Oh my God, the smell is becoming more and more intense, like chemically. It's a little overpowering. It doesn't look like OnePlus is giving us any cases anymore, which is fine. So yeah, let's just go ahead and open this up. So one thing to keep in mind with the OnePlus 12R, because you know they had to cut corners to make the price a little bit lower, this does not have a glass back, or I should say it's not a Gorilla Glass back. The material that they use is different than what we have on the regular OnePlus 12, but just by comparison purposes, the OnePlus 12 just looks way more premium than the other one, but this still has a glass back and it feels, I would say, more comfortable to hold in the hand. This one is definitely more slippery. It has a bit of a pattern as well because it's not just a fully black back. I don't know if you guys can see that if I have the camera a little bit closer, or the phone close to the camera, you might be able to see some of those ridges. But yeah, I think overall pretty nice. It's lighter than the OnePlus 12 as well. So let me go ahead and power this on. And just so you guys can have a better understanding of what you are getting for $500, let me bring the S24 Ultra. All right, just for comparison purposes, the one on the left is the Pixel 8 Pro, and then on the right is the S24 Ultra. So just from like size comparisons, you're getting a big screen for $500. There's a bit of like a blue moving thing. That's not the camera. That's just how the OnePlus sets up the device. But yeah, let me move these phones out of the way. Let's go back to the OnePlus 12 itself and let's just continue. So you still have that bit of a curved display, so it kind of bleeds off to the side. Personally, I like that. It gives it a bit of a better immersion, but the bezels are a bit bigger, so I think that is where they kind of cut corners as well. Shout out to OnePlus once again for making the fingerprint sensor a little bit higher than being down here. Do think that's a good addition on the OnePlus 12. Not 100% sure if the OnePlus 11 had this change because I didn't get the OnePlus 11. But once again, just happy that the fingerprint sensor is much more towards the center of the screen rather than at the very bottom. So this does ship with Oxygen OS. So this is the software that is basically the skin of what OnePlus device uses. So go ahead, click Get Started, and you get more or less the same splash screen of what you saw on my regular OnePlus 12 unboxing. Quick smell test. compared to the OnePlus 12, it doesn't smell like anything, which I think is a good thing. The OnePlus 12 smelled like fish. So hopefully I can get this done within the next 3 minutes, but let me show you guys around the device and also tell you some of the corners that OnePlus cut in order to get the price at that $500 price tag compared to what we see here on the OnePlus 12 that starts at $800. The back is not Gorilla Glass. It's still some type of glass. Whenever it comes to these marketing terms like Gorilla Glass, Victus Armor, you know, ceramic shield, things like that, listen, it's glass. It's probably not as strong as the glass that we have here, but it's still glass. I don't think it's gonna crack as easily, but regardless, still has a pretty nice feel to it. It is slightly lighter, so I think the materials that they're using are overall a little bit cheaper. So the IP rating is also lower. So instead of IP65, we have IP64. The processor is also not the one that everyone is using nowadays. So it's not the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. It's the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Now, even though it is last year's model, I really do think the Snapdragon Gen series like 1, 2, 3 have had massive improvements over the predecessors like the 888, things like that. Having the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, I think is gonna be plenty for a device at this price point. The display also isn't as sharp as the OnePlus 12, so it's not using, I think it's like 1440 by some dimension. For a screen size this big, trying to compete with like the Pixel 8 Pro or even the one that just came out, the Galaxy S24 Ultra. I'd rather have an overall bigger display, even though it might not be the text being as sharp, because even on these other devices, by default, they don't even run at their super high resolution. Another train? Seriously? Go ahead, honk again. Yep, I know you're gonna do that. So this does have the LTPO technology. The brightness does go up to 4500 like the OnePlus 12, but I should probably do a deeper dive on this whole marketing of these 4500 nits. I believe some other YouTubers have done some tests, and you guys have also let me know down in the comments below that it's not really 4500 nits. I don't know how they're getting that number, but just know it gets very bright and you're gonna be okay in most situations, indoor and outdoors. The battery, believe it or not, is actually 100 milliamp hours bigger. However, there is no wireless charging, which honestly is a deal breaker for me. If you don't care too much about wireless charging, hey, this might be the device for you because it still has that 100-watt super ultra, whatever one they call it, fast charging. That is what OnePlus is known for. Also, the camera array, you can also just probably look at it that it's not as expansive as the regular OnePlus 12. So if you're not that big on cameras, if you don't want like, you know, the pixel perfect quality, you might want to look into getting the regular OnePlus 12R. I already put my SIM card in the OnePlus 12R. But yeah, they are pretty comparable displays. Even though the resolution is higher on the OnePlus 12, the 12R doesn't seem to be that bad either. I can actually go into the display settings to see if I can crank anything up, but I do believe it carried all the stuff over from my previous device. So my screen resolution, oh, it's actually on standard. So let's go ahead and set it to high so I get a bit more sharpness. If you were to hand me both these devices and tell me which one is which, I mean, I would know, but like just looking at the display alone in terms of the colors and sharpness, I'd say they're almost identical. I don't think there's really that much of a difference between the two. The only way I'd be able to tell is that I know the OnePlus 12 is slightly bigger, but if I didn't have it side by side, it would be pretty hard to tell which one is which. So in terms of the display, you're still getting that flagship that OnePlus is providing here. Like I said before, OnePlus is known for their super fast charging, so let me go ahead and plug in this USB-C. I do have the 100-watt power adapter hooked up, so you'll see that it will start charging. Takes a couple seconds for it to ramp up, but you'll see that it's just going. It's just going. And then if you go to the lock screen, you'll see here, ultra fast charging. So that fast charging, OnePlus has got you covered. So the last thing that is not really cutting corners, but it's still just an interesting choice. It's that OnePlus is still putting Wi-Fi 7 in their devices. I don't know what the cost difference is between Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 7, but doesn't seem like a mid-range phone like this needs to have Wi-Fi 7 other than it being on the spec sheet. doesn't really matter that much. All right, so let's do some regular smartphone testing. So let's go to YouTube here, throw on a HDR video. Oh my God, crazy Dolby Vision 4K. Let's see what this looks like. Let's go here, here, advanced 4K 60 HDR. That's what you guys want to see, right? Actually looks pretty good. I love how I just went to that. Complete accident. This is definitely HDR. I can tell straight away. And the video boost isn't even on. The camera ended up getting full of storage, but this display, like I said before, you are getting pretty much the identical display from the OnePlus 12, which I think is already a pretty impressive display. And as you can see here, this is a HDR. I don't even have video boost turned on, which actually enhances the HDR. From my own experience, it just makes it a little bit too saturated for my taste. But this by itself, I think just looks amazing. And for $500, keep that in mind, you are getting an exceptional display. So that is what I love about the OnePlus 12R. Moving on, let's go ahead and turn this down a bit. Ooh, the sound effects. Let's move on to a different category. One thing I actually want to mention before I move off, the other place where they cut corners, the speakers. The speakers actually don't sound too good. My suspect is that most people probably have Bluetooth earbuds, or they will just plug in a USB-C headphones and have it wired. Speakers, honestly not that great, but for $500 from everything else that you're getting, I would take a hit on the speakers because I'm just gonna use Bluetooth speakers or headphones, earbuds, 9 times out of 10 anyway. But yeah, let's go talk about the camera because the camera is where they also cut some corners. So this is the regular front-facing camera. I don't know why. I mean, I look like very orange here, but this actually kind of looks better than the OnePlus 12. And just in terms of like sharpness, could be the photos that I take on the OnePlus 12 aren't as good. But just from like my recent memory, this actually looks pretty good. Like I'm completely satisfied with this camera here. For $500, not bad. Portrait mode leaves a little less to be desired. Overall, I'd say still pretty good for a front-facing camera. But yeah, let's check out the back camera now. All right, so the portrait mode, I mean, if I had someone else take this photo for me, it might have been a little bit better because this on the right-hand side is like very blurred out. But then as you move to the left-hand side, it's just not that blurred out. But I'm the subject. That's probably the most important thing. And I think it looks okay. But overall, probably want to get another person to take the portrait mode photo for you using the back camera because it could have been me doing the miss there. This is the regular camera on the back, and once again, I'd say I'm overall pretty satisfied for a $500 camera. I'm not expecting anything exceptional. I'm really just looking for anything that's average or above. But like I said before, these mid-range phones that are coming out now, they are really delivering, guys. So if you really want a decent camera for $500 with an overall package like this, you might want to check out the OnePlus 12R. All right, testing out the front-facing camera on the OnePlus 12R. Now, if it's anything similar like the OnePlus 12 front-facing camera, it's not that good compared to the back camera. And you guys will see in a second. Like, I don't look like this at all. I don't know if it's the HDR that's doing this effect. Even when it comes to stabilization, it looks kind of, jittery, I can't even speak. You guys know what I'm trying to say. It's just not that stabilized. I don't think there is a stabilizer in the front-facing camera. I think most people are going to be using the back camera anyway, so it kind of makes sense from a business perspective. But yeah, this is the front-facing camera. Let's switch to the back camera. All right, so this is the back camera on the OnePlus 12R. You guys let me know how it looks and sounds I'm guessing it's probably going to look much better than what we saw on the front-facing camera. The colors should be a little bit more balanced. But yeah, you guys let me know how the microphone sounds as well, and then how the video looks compared to even the OnePlus 12 or my other videos of like the Pixel 8 Pro and the S24 Ultra. Maybe even the iPhone 15 Pro. So that pretty much wraps up my first impressions on the OnePlus 12R. And you know, like I said before, I hate to pull the phone out, but compared to the OnePlus 12 itself, what are you really missing here? For me, what I really miss the most is the wireless charging. The camera, I really do think the camera is better on the OnePlus 12R. I don't think you can really beat physics. But overall, I don't think the camera is that bad on the OnePlus 12R. And the other thing that I wish I kind of had are that back. The back on the OnePlus 12 is just in a league of its own. But outside of that, $500, I would recommend this to many people. The only crutch I would say OnePlus has for me, it's the software. Oxygen OS is actually pretty decent, but there's just some features that I kind of prefer on One UI and iOS. But if you are a person who really doesn't care about OS that much and you can get away with everything that you see here, you're gonna be pretty happy with this phone. Mind you, I already have both my SIM cards in this phone and it just works. That's all I really care about. And if it just works and performs what I need, this is it. So I will leave it off with that, guys. Mid-range phones are starting to become a beast of themselves. So really happy that we're able to get devices that are this cheap and we're getting so much value for our money nowadays. The question you need to answer, really, the question you seriously should answer, is the S24 Ultra worth double the price of this? I would argue no. There's no way. There's no way. Even the regular S24 that this would go up against, the S24 Plus, would you pay double for that with this? I don't know. This is really good. This is really good. You just gotta get past the software. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will be having a day in a life with the OnePlus 12R. SIM card's already in there. I already know I'm gonna like this device. I will have my full review on this device as well. So hopefully you guys found this video informative. Let me know if you have any questions. And hopefully guys, I see you in the next one. Much love. This is such a nice device. Like, it's lighter. It's not as beautiful as this thing, but I mean, for $500, I'm chilling. I'm chilling.